After the ball is over, after the skein is done, after the die lot's finished, and you are short just one, many a knitter has made a tearful and desperate call, pleading with their local yarn shop, go after that ball.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Pan, Hook, and Needles podcast.
Did you forget what this was?
No, I got a brain freeze or whatever. Hello everybody, welcome to the Pan, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 470. Today is Saturday, September 4th, 2021, as we are recording. I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
And I'm Talia, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
I want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. If you are new, we always are glad to see you, new people. If you are returning, always glad to see you back. If you are new or returning and in the shadows, please feel free to join us officially. You can just hit the little subscribe button on your right and tap the little bell gently so that you can get notifications when we put a podcast up. And if you want to take part in our longs and giveaways and fun stuff, that happens at our homepage, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. Okay, so that's phnpodcast.freeforums.net. Oh, that went pretty fast.
It did.
Okay, well, I guess that brings us to tea.
I'm just trying to, there we go, got my strip free.
Yeah. I got a late start, so I'm a little fuzzy-headed this morning. So, let's see here. I'm sorry for the clinking.
Just so you know, you're slightly off screen.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, here is my tea. This is what my daughter's head looks like. That's an oboe. And I'm drinking white chocolate peppermint herbal tea by Plum Deluxe.
Sorry for any slight.
For sweet and cozy moments, this is Rubio's tea, honeybush tea, peppermint, cocoa nibs, coconut flakes, white chocolate essence, no caffeine. Well, that might have been a mistake. Okay, so there you go. Plum Deluxe is awesome. So let me just... Perfect. And I'm not going to give her the taste because...
I have the exact same thing.
Yeah. And I have a Stroop waffle. Mine is different than hers. So
yeah, she has the one by Stroop Club. It's a little more chewy, even though it's not the honey one that they had for a while. Although actually no, it was Sweet Amsterdam who had a honey one.
Was it?
And then they changed their flavors. Yeah.
Okay.
Because remember they used to be a lot chewier. But Stroop Club is chewier.
Without being obnoxious.
Yeah. I still kind of prefer Sweet Amsterdam. It's soft.
I do too.
But we've been having trouble getting caramel for Sweet Amsterdam lately.
They're both good.
And I'm doing Sweet Amsterdam's lemon bar one. Sorry, I just completely forgot the name of it.
You had the same brain freeze. It's contagious.
I call it brain fog. Brain freeze is if...
Yeah, I know. It's contagious.
I didn't drink anything cold, so it's not brain freeze.
Contagious, yes.
And I keep my white chocolate peppermint herbal tea in this thing that I got from Plum Deluxe. I thought it was cute, so I picked it up.
It's adorable. How much does that hold? About 3 ounces, 4 ounces?
It can usually carry at least... It's like 2 or 3 of the...
Okay.
It depends on the tea.
Right. Okay.
And I think this one does too. Because the other one I had, I think, does 2 or 3 depending on the tea. Because, like, if you do the Cuddle Time one, it's bigger.
Right.
Even though it's lighter, it takes up more room.
Right.
But this one, I think it carries 2 in here, at least. And I'm not sure how much is in here. So, yes. It's cute. It says, where there's tea, there's hope. So.
Okay. I know we keep saying we'll get back to our national parks. We will, eventually. We just had to drink what we wanted to drink today. All right. Let's see. Going on to our longs. I guess before I go on to that, I just wanted to let everybody know that we are still collecting for the pregnancy center and from our pregnancy center. I think Brittany is finished doing comforting crafts now. I'm not sure if she's going to the end of September. Brittany, if you are accepting through the end of September, you can put a note in the comments or contact one of us privately. Okay, you know how to do that. So
I'm sure it says on the along.
what along?
The one that was for comforting crafts.
It's closed. So
Oh, I thought she was stopping when that along closed.
I know. I think that ended. I think that already ended.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we don't have it. So yeah. So we're accepting with the Front Row Pregnancy Center. We wanted to reiterate Amelia Project, which is really important. That's you can contact VT Kimmy Kim about information for that. And then sorry about putting her name out there, but and we also do Evans Home. Our contact person is our local yarn shop. That's Laura Gavis, and it's Knitter's Magic in Winchester.
Yeah, the shop is Knitter's Magic. The person is...
Yes, if you are in Winchester and you want to stop by and see her, she'd love that. I think she's still doing curbside at the moment. But she also, if you catch her on Facebook, every Thursday she has...
She's really consistent.
She's very consistent. She does like a, I guess for lack of a better term, a trunk show kind of thing.
I was going to say
I'm not sure what you would call it, but she does like... She shows you, usually it's a kit, like yarn and a pattern, or bags or whatever, and you tell her you want it, and if you get in before anybody else, you'll get that, okay? So you might check her out for that. Let's see, moving on. Oh, I said the Amelia Project. The other one is Operation Christmas Child that we wanted to make sure people were aware of.
Can we have someone new who's doing some charity stuff?
I want to say yes, but I don't.
Because it was during POP that was brought up.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was.
So if you were the person who offered, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know and maybe put it in the comments below the YouTube video.
Yeah,
okay?
'cause I can't remember.
I
do remember the conversation. I just don't remember the person.
I do remember the conversation. I'm trying to think who was there. Pat was there. Brittany was there. I'm a horrible person. I can't remember who else was there.
Well, was this last time or was it the time before?
I don't remember. I thought you said it was this last time.
I don't remember.
Okay. Moving along to our longs. Okay, the PHN Christmas All Year Long Cal 2021 is well underway. We're in the third quarter. This is the last month of the third quarter. Okay, so that means this has run from January 1st and it will run to midnight Eastern Standard Time on December 31st going into January 1st of 2022, okay? So if we hit January 2022, you guys, it's finished. Unless the thread is open a little bit, you can still put your stuff in. But because we're shooting to end at midnight on Eastern Standard Time, we would highly recommend that if you want to have something considered, you do it by then.
Yeah.
So anything else you get will be gratis, all right?
Yes, we're not responsible for people not getting in.
Right. Because we have, I think the two admins and at least one of our moderators are all on the East Coast. So, so that's what we're closing, all right? Of course, one of our East Coasters stays up till all hours, so
right.
Anyway, so this runs January 1st. As I said, okay, I don't have it. Projects must be knit, loom net, or crocheted. Previous whips will be allowed, but must be worked on during the along. Chatter and pictures all on the same thread. One whip per project per week. Whip work in progress for newcomers. The FO whenever it's completed, and that's the finished object. And for clarification for people who are new to our podcast, that means that if you post a whip picture, because you worked on it, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you finish it Thursday, you can post the whip, one picture of the whip during that week, and then you can also post the finished object that same week if you want to, okay? Because it's a finished object then. Our featured patterns and featured yarns are always the same for the most part, unless we pick up something different. Right now it's Franciscan Gypsies Designs patterns, NEFOs and Franciscan Gypsies Design patterns, Lady Forner Co-Creations yarn, or my one pattern, Lollipop Girl yarns, or Laura Concert Designs patterns. Laura Concert Designs and Lollipop Girl yarns are the same person, okay?
Yeah.
So they are eligible for 2 chance at a price for the finished object only. If you use a featured pattern with a featured yarn, it's eligible for 3 chances at a prize for the finished object only. And you are responsible for all multiple postings. And we appreciate all the people who are doing that, okay? I forgot to mention that the Christmas colors, because when we first started this, it came to our attention, of course, that not everybody celebrates Christmas.
Right.
So for those of you who don't celebrate Christmas, we also put in Christmas colors. So those colors that we kind of arbitrarily chose were reds, greens, pinks, purples, whites, blues, silvers. I think I got them while I was doing them out of order. So if you can check the thread, okay?
Yeah.
We have plenty of options for you guys, and it must be used for a gift, okay? All right. And we have this quarter, we have 2 prizes. We have a prize of, whoops.
There's a bunny.
Indeed. 2 skeins of Knit Pick Bravo worsted in avocado. It's a real pretty green. And 1 skein of Death by Pumpkin sock. I think it's sock. We'd have to look at it again. 1 skein of that in a small blue bag, okay? Now the Cardiac Dysautonomia, this one runs from, this is only a quarter long, so this runs from July 1st to September 30th. You've got about 3 weeks left, a little over 3 weeks for this long. And the rules are basically the same, but, the hashtag for this is PHNCDA 2021, okay? The Christmas along is hashtag, let me see, I think it's, where did I put it here? I think I know this after going all year. It's in the thread. I'm not going to waste time looking for it. Okay, so for the Cardiac Dysautonomia is PHNCDA 2021 on Instagram. Now, the projects must be worked on during the along, okay? They don't have to be finished, and it doesn't matter, as long as you work on it, okay? The same featured patterns and featured yarns as long as they meet the requirements. The colors for this yarn, for this along, are shades of blue, shades of red, including shades of pink, and shades of teal. And as we've mentioned before, if it says teal on the ball band but it looks greenish, then you need to put the ball band as well, because we're looking for shades of bluish, okay? But if it says teal and on the thing, just put the ball band, even if it's green, we'll accept it.
Do you remember turn on the lights? The warning lights?
Yeah, I think so. I did.
I don't remember if I turned on mine.
Let's see.
We have a warning light. We decided Mom and I don't get interrupted by Davina and Dad.
I turned the fax on.
Okay.
I couldn't see yours, but
I just turned mine on.
okay.
Or made sure mine was on.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Let's see, where was I? Same featured yarns, featured patterns, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, Tortoise versus Hare. We need a little bit of a drink because I didn't get my Oops as a Bunny. I apologize for the slurping. Okay. We are really excited. This Tortoise versus Hare. We've done this every year that Laura has had this going. She asked us every year, and every year we say yes because it's fun.
Yes,
okay, it's fun. I don't even have any clue who's in the lead.
Nope.
I don't know if Laura has any clue of who's in the lead at this point. We'll have to ask her. Laura, if you see this video, if you're watching the video, could you please put in the description box, or not the description box, in the comment section, who's ahead? Doesn't even matter if you tell us by how many. We just like to know who's ahead. Okay? I have to contact her. She's been busy. Okay. Projects must be worked on between July 1st and September 30th. And they can be started before that. The reason I'm going through these rules is because I have adjusted them for Laura. So
I think I forgot to answer something Laura sent me in private message the time I was trying to remember those socks that I had ruined. They were Batman and Superman, and I think I never responded to her message.
yeah, I think you owe her still.
Yeah, I think it hit during a period of time where I was particularly feeling unwell. So
Well, she knows that you're not. She knows that and she also has experience with that,
Yeah.
so she knows. I know she understands. She's a good friend. Let me see here. This is probably very disjointed for you all, but the rules are essentially the same. The time period is July 1st to July 30th. July 1st to September 30th. Boy, I can't talk. Must be worked on during the time period. It doesn't have to be started before July 1st. They can just be worked on. Okay, for us, the projects have to be knit, loom knit, or crocheted, and must reflect the theme of tortoise, hare, or tortoise versus hare, tortoise and hare, anything like that. Laura, I think, accepts all crafts that have a tortoise.
because I've been seeing more and more other kinds of crafts on her Instagram the few times I've noticed Instagram when I posted something.
Right. So she might accept other things. You just have to ask her, okay? You have to be a member of each group that you're posting to, obviously. WIPs will be eligible for prizes, 1 WIP per project per week. And for Instagram, please use the hashtag Tortoise versus Hare 2021, okay? Now, the featured patterns are any of Franciscan Gypsy Designs or Laura Concert Designs patterns that reflect Tortoise versus Hare, or any Lady Fernigo Creations yarn or Lollipop Girl yarns that reflect the theme of Tortoise and Hare, or Hare or versus Hare. Okay, we have a few. And if you use the featured pattern with the featured yarn, you have 3 chances at a prize for the finished object only. Okay. Okay, so that takes care of that. I guess we go into projects.
And you start.
I do start. Hold on.
Because she actually has more than me for once in a while.
One more. Okay, my first one, if I can find it. I get really annoyed when I have to do this off the internet because it goes back and forth and it drives me nuts.
By it, she means her show notes.
Yes. Okay, sorry, Talia. I needed to poke you, or whatever I did.
You elbowed me.
Okay. I didn't feel like an elbow.
There was an elbow.
Okay. Not more like here.
Okay, well,
Okay.
it ends up being the same thing.
No, that is not my elbow.
Usually when they say you're elbowing something, they don't mean like at the very point of your
elbow. Yes, it does.
Like, usually...
That's your elbow. You are in error. Okay.
It's close enough.
No, it is not.
No
that.
one says someone hit them with the back of their arm.
Because nobody does that. Who does that on purpose? Okay, anyway. This is my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle bag from Silvershed. Okay. And this is my R1's hooded cowl from the Thorn hooded cowl pattern by Efifonora. Okay. And I did a little work on this. I'm always in the middle of the round with this because it's in the round.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but it did grow a little bit. I wanted to work on it. And so, yeah, it's funny how that happens, right? Isn't that pretty? I love this yarn. This is Miss Babs Yowza, and it's a DK weight, and it's blue slate, I think is what it's called. So, yeah, I'm not sure how much I worked on it, but I did work on it, so...
All right, let me just stick this in here so I can secure this end. There, and stick it through one more spot. Just so that way I can do a little chop. There we go. Alrighty, so let me see. Oh, this is easy. I was hoping to have the Venus Christmas stocking to show to you, and it is done. It's in my Silvershed USA, I'm sorry, I'm having brain fog. Silvershed USA Peanuts Christmas bag. So it is finished. The thing is, I've got it turned inside out to weave in on the ends, and it's large enough that I really don't feel like turning it back right side out until all the ends are woven in. Besides, I want the patrons to be the first one to see it so they get first chance at getting and testing, because that's one of the perks. But this is done. It's just too much effort to put it right side out because it's long.
Yeah.
And it's wider because that's what Davina wanted.
Okay.
And this should hopefully go into testing next week.
Oh, that would be cool. See who wants to do it. Linnea usually likes to do that. Just want to see if make sure she gets a heads up after the patrons.
Well, I tag everyone that normally is interested after I get the patrons a heads up first.
Right. Okay. Let me just...
Because I have a list of people.
Stop this here. Let me just stop it. Okay. All right. My next one is in my Silvershed USA Green Star Wars bag. And this is my Madhatter Cowl project from the Cerebell pattern by Sarah Sweetheart. And I made a little bit of progress in this. I had some time to do knitting and crocheting because we had hair appointments this week. But
which is always nice when that provides more.
I forget I can't remember what projects I brought with me. I'm losing my mind. Anyway, so you can see, I don't like the way this shows up on our big screen, but you can see it better.
Well, remember the big screen is just, it has a slight color variation.
And this is the Mad Hatter colorway, which like I said before, most of you who have been with us for a while will remember that we were going through a phase where we picked up colors that, oh, that looks pretty, and we'll make a turtle or make something like that.
Well, that might have been even before turtle. It's just like, oh, pretty, because I know. Well, that was yours.
Yeah.
Mine, I'd had that color for a long time.
Yeah.
In mine.
But this, I like the way it works up in the Surabelt so much so that I'm actually keeping it.
Which is great because that it is a hard color to find something to do with it.
Well, if you have a very exuberant personality.
Yeah, it just doesn't go with a lot of things.
No, well, it has to be plain. Like, I want to wear this. I have actually several dark coats. So I will probably wear this with that.
Well, what you're planning for is perfect for it.
Because I wasn't going to keep this. It's so bright. I mean, I love the way it works out. I love
But it's a weird kind of like dark bright.
Yeah, because Davina doesn't actually like this.
Well, it's not. Davina likes spring bright. That's more of a winter bright.
Right. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about this because I've said several times about this already.
Okay, so next for me, let me bring up my show notes.
This crumbles all over the place.
Yeah, that one's more crumbly. Okay. There's episode 470. Okay, in my, yeah, it is in this bag. In my bag that I received from Emma, this is the
Emma Bunny bag.
Yeah, Crafty Clegs bunny bag. And this is the Crinkled Owl Sock project. And the pattern is Crinkled Socks pattern by K.F. Jones, a Baker Bears fame.
Was that a university one?
No.
Okay.
This is a purchase one.
Okay.
And this is, I'm using West Yorkshire Spinners in the owl colorway.
I like that color, the owl colorway.
Because this sock pattern's been out for a little while.
Yeah.
And her university thinks they're kind of new.
Is that the first one you've done? The first time you've done that, though?
Done what?
This pattern?
Yes.
Okay.
Other than, like, I've started it a couple different times because I didn't do gauge or whatever.
Right.
Or I misjudged the size of my foot.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I tingled a little bit. But this one will fit. I've already tried it on. And I don't know where it was last time I showed it, but
Made quite a bit of
I don't remember where
progress,
it was.
I think.
I have no idea where I was, but I'm now just on the straightaway with the foot. And then I'll be able to start the second sock. This is very much more muted. This might be for if I am going somewhere and don't necessarily want to be like, hey, sock.
You mean making it or wearing it?
Wearing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm switching over to the knit socks.
Right. Yeah, that's what, okay.
And this one's just a little bit more muted than some of my normal ones. Because, you know, if you're going to knit socks, might as well be fun.
Well, socks you can kind of go a little crazy because...
Well, even, you know, some people will go crazy with the store-bought ones even, you know? So it's like, it's not that weird of a thing.
Right.
This is a fun pattern to knit. And
what was the weight on it again?
this fingering. But it's a fairly dense, so I think it'll still be warm.
Why is it dense?
It's knit on US ones, and it's not got any lace or anything like that.
Okay.
And
so does it have any like embellishments on it, like
well,
baubles?
It's got mixtures of knits and pearls.
Okay, so it doesn't have like baubles or color work or anything.
No,
like
the
that.
one you're thinking of the baubles is, or it's not even the baubles, it's knots, is the one from Knitting University.
Well, I knew it wasn't that one. I was just wondering if it had.
I wouldn't have had any other ones.
Yeah.
That was the first one I did with Baubles Onyx. I gravitate away from those.
Right, because wouldn't cables make it warmer too?
Yes.
Okay.
If you look at, there's a Fellowship of the Sock collection.
Oh, fun! Where's that?
I got it on sale on Ravelry way back when, and so they have, and most of them are cabled, and they have every single member of the Fellowship represented.
I want Sam.
I do have Sam's. They're very complex. I had started Pippin's at one point before I got sick, but it was too complex for my brain at that point, so I tore Pippin out. Plus, I think I needed to do a gauge swatch, and I didn't.
For people who don't know me, I love Sam.
Sam's sock is nice. Now Sam's is going to be a little chunkier because you think of Sam, he's not a very
Delicate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have people I really like. Do they have one for Strider and for Aragorn?
I know there's one for Strider. I can't remember if they've separated them. Now, where is
I'm going to have to commission her to do, I'll have to take a look at them to do the set. Because, actually pay her for it because that's a lot of work.
Where'd my needle go?
I don't know.
Oh, darn it, I had...
What, your needle?
My needle I was weaving
Oh,
an end with.
your
I had it attached to the sock. All right, it's okay. I'll pull out another one. It's frustrating, though, because those are a little hard to find.
Do you want me to pick up some more if I go to Michael's?
Yeah, if you see some at Michael's. I don't understand what happened to it. It was right here.
I need to pick up some for me, too, so let me just put... Those are tapestry needles, right?
And it's not like I pulled on the project or anything.
You want the metal ones, right?
Yeah. It was sitting on my lap.
You'll probably get up and it'll fall off.
Well, no, I mean, it was sitting in the sock on my lap. Like, it shouldn't have come loose. I didn't even touch the sock.
Right. All right, let me just... Okay. All right, my next one is in my... Let's see. Silvershed USA Blue PHN Faces Bag. And this is my by special request shawl pattern. This is the one I wanted to work on. I'm trying to get through this section. I think I might have worked almost exclusively, almost on this one at the hairdresser. So, my show notes again. All right, so now you can see better, I think. Can you see the color on the bottom?
Yeah.
That's Marigold Jen's
Scenic
Route. I always want to say Sidewalk Chalk, but that's brown.
Yeah.
This is
I
Scenic
have
Route.
the Hitchhiker in the
think
Sidewalk Chalk.
I think that's going to be okay, Taya. Looking at it, okay, I'm going to finish that as far as I can, and then do see where the gray stripes are?
I can't because you're blocking the screen.
Well, look at the back.
Well, it doesn't help me. It doesn't look the same in the back.
Well, the colors are the same.
It just doesn't look the same.
Well, colors are
And so
still
I have light shining through it,
anyway,
so I can't see
my point
through
is, if you look here, I'm going to do...
Yeah, I can see now. I think it should be fine.
The blue that's in the middle of the gray, that's going to switch with the gray.
Yeah, Mom, if you hold it up and you're looking through the back, you can see how the light makes it so you can't see the color.
But I can see the differences.
It's not enough for me to give you an accurate thing.
Anyway, the point is, I'm going to be switching the order of the colors and then adding on again this, which is Mad Tosh. So it hopefully will be... I mean, this is a scrap shawl, so there's no real wrong way of doing it.
Honestly, it's supposed to be.
I just have certain things that I envision in my head, and I want to make sure it goes right. It doesn't, like, say, this is horrid, you know? So, yeah. But, yeah, I'm enjoying you all know I love this pattern almost as much as I love the Surabel.
Right. You haven't knit quite as many, but that's only because the Surabel goes faster because it's not nearly as large.
Yeah, it's not as big. So when I make this, I tend to make it large.
Right. Well, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yep. And this will be this is a nice weight, and it's already a shawlette
and
size.
it's kind of shawl that makes a nice hug, because when it's big enough, it really wraps around you.
This is probably my shawl of choice if I want to send a hug to someone who's having a rough time, or for whatever reason. This is probably the one I like to send them because it's quick and it's pretty,
and you enjoy working.
And I enjoy working it. So.
And it really is like a big old hug. All right, let me stick that through. This time I will do that there. All right, I'm actually going to put this next there. Okay. So next for me is in my Silvershed USA Kitties in the News bag.
Is that a Tortoise?
It's one of the stories. So, it's still the late edition. And we're going to go... Oh, that's right. We were going to go across the top just because...
Keep some kind of order?
Yeah, because we've done all of them before, so... Okay. I think we were on the other side because we did... the one about Cat's Eye View last time. So, Benign Feline Champions Heartworm Union by Sam Siberius. 10,000 pets of all breeds banded together in a unified march to support heartwarming unions in our communities. The march was held this weekend in Felix, Wisconsin, and was an exhausting 3-mile event. Heartworm ribbons were distributed and worn by all to show support. I'm having such trouble talking today. The unions have really raised the bar on health care, reported an onlooker. They're doing a good thing here. The organizer of the march, pictured above, wishes to remain anonymous.
Pictured above, so it's anonymous?
Yeah.
How's that possible?
So there he is. And he wishes to remain anonymous.
He wishes to.
Maybe his name is anonymous.
He's adorable.
Yes,
He's a little kitten.
And he just wants to help.
These plots murder all day long. We have a magnet on our refrigerator that says kitten, what is it? Kitten
Kitten spends all day
plotting murder all day long or something like that.
Yeah, it's an onion piece.
It's an onion. It's cute, yeah. It's adorable. So yeah,
I didn't show the actual project.
Oh. I thought that was pretty quick. Talia.
Well, I lost my grip.
Throw things at me. You spilled my tea.
I'm sorry, I lost my grip.
Well, you're lucky you didn't spill on my bag.
I know.
Catastrophe averted. Catastrophe.
No?
No.
Okay, so this is the Anne's. Well, I call it the Lake of Shining Waters. The pattern is the Anne sweater, and it's by Joanna Johnson. It's from her Green Gables Knits collection. And I'm still doing the mile of ribbing that'll take the next year to knit all the way around. And I'm just saying that because whenever you're measuring anything, it seems to take a mile.
Especially if it's the last 2 inches. It seems like the last 2 inches.
And I'm actually about 2 inches from where I need to be.
It seems like the last 2 inches becomes the black hole of inches. I mean, it just...
And it's partially because I'm going around the whole sweater to do it.
Right.
If I measure it right now, and I usually measure off the pocket because then I know that the pocket is the exact same as the ribbing, because that's all it is. It's ribbing that was extended. And if I measure the width of the pocket, so we're at 3.5. So yeah, about 2 inches.
So is that going to be... Well, never mind. Never mind. I don't want you to give anything away.
So it's at 3.5. I want it at 5 inches. For my size, they suggest, I think it was like 4.5, but I was like, another ½ inch isn't going to make that much of a difference, and I'd rather have more, so I'd be more of a wrap. So I was going to go to 5.
That's 1.5 inches then. Not 2.
I thought I said an inch.
Well,
Did I say 2 inches?
Yeah, 2 inches. You said about 2 inches. So
Yeah.
about 1.5 inches, actually.
Because ½ an inch would be the 4 inch. Okay, yeah, you're right. I gained ½ an inch from the last time I measured, where I said 2 inches.
Well, you had to do something, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it didn't seem to be moving at all for a while. It didn't matter how much I put into it.
Well, I remember when I was doing the handbrake for Kay. Kay and Dan have a wonderful pattern called the handbrake. I think it was her first one that she put out for, other than toys.
It was her and Dan doing collaboration.
Yeah. And so I'm doing it, and I did the longer cowl, and I love the pattern. I made 2 of them, I think. I made 2 of them. But in any event, even if I only made 1, I got to the point where I had the last 2 inches. I think I must have gone through 5 or 6 episodes before finishing the 2 inches. It just seemed to go on. And it has nothing to do with the pattern. It's just, it was a long cowl. I mean, it was...
Well, this here is DK, and I'm using US 4s. So it's gonna take, I'm pretty sure these are 4s.
I think that's what I was using for the handbrake. Isn't that US 4s as well?
Oh, I have no idea, Mom.
I was using a DK.
I've never knit that.
5,
US 5.
I think she did it in fingering weight originally, but I did it in Miss Babs, because that's the way I roll. So, and it took forever because it was long enough, or is long enough, that I can loop it almost 3 times. So going around with small needles was going to take forever, and I didn't know because I was a very new knitter when I was doing that.
But yeah, I have the sleeves left to put on and finish the pockets as soon as I get the all-around ribbing done. And the thing is, I know this is going to be a favorite sweater when it's done. I wear a lot of blue.
And then she has to start mine.
Yes, I do. Well, as soon as I get this one off the needles, hers will go on because it's like the needles are already there.
Now, do you need to actually take mine out? Because I made gauge.
I mean, I could leave it there.
You had to put them on your needles, but...
Yeah, I could leave it there.
I'm just wondering, because it's not very far along, and it's already been started, and I made gauge, so why would you want to redo it? Would that
as
work?
long as our consistency isn't differently.
Right. Well, you have to check.
I'm more inclined just to rip it and start from the beginning.
Well, that's entirely up to you. I just want to say
just because I want to keep the feel of it the same. Because even if you have gauge, sometimes someone might be a little bit more of an even knitter, or
I'm even with my knitting, but unless I have something new that I'm trying to.
Well, my thought was sometimes your hands hurt,
right?
So it might make you a little less even than you'd like to be.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually not a very uneven knitter unless my hands are bothering me.
Well, that would be the only time I would expect you to be. And I've been told that I'm almost machine with my stitches.
Okay, let's see. My next one is in my B-Wing country bag. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
Also, because you're not usually used to doing the make ones and stuff.
Yeah, now the make ones I might have even done incorrectly.
And that's pretty early on, so I'm just going to rip it back.
I was really proud of myself because I did it without asking her. I did it all by myself, which was kind of hard with that fuzzy yarn. It's a little fuzzy because it's alpaca.
Well, yeah.
And so but I did it. I was proud of myself. I don't like doing it, although I saw something.
Once you get it to click in your head, it really isn't bad.
I found a video that made it really clear. I don't remember who it was.
I think my pink book was what made it clear for me.
I keep losing my show notes. If I lose my show notes, I mean my Kindle keeps shutting down.
Because my favorite knit instruction book is kind of different than most people's, I think. I think most people tend to go with the ones with like these glossy-ish pictures, and they show you everything in like photographs. My favorite book, it's not over here.
I have one over there.
Yeah, it's pink and it's about yay big, and it's called Knit Speak.
Yeah.
And it has drawings in it, but for whatever reason, the way they explain things and the way their sketches are really work for my brain, and I like the size of it, and it was the earliest book that I picked up. And I actually used it fairly recently to help myself with wrap and turning.
Right. Okay. The next one I have is in my B-Wing country bag. It's my Country Roads blanket from the Jelly Roll pattern, Jelly Roll blanket pattern by K.F. Jones. And I think I might have worked on this one at the hairdresser as well. I'm still on this blue, but I haven't worked a whole lot on it. So yeah, it's moving along. This is a scrappy kind of thing, and right now it's pretty mindless. And I'm going to ask you how to do this about taking out the knot and weaving the ends in, because I don't want to have the same problem Natalia has with her blanket. I want to just have it all woven in.
You see, what I actually do now, because this was something I started doing when I started doing a lot more color work, is because with color work, there's a way to catch your float. So that way it's kind of locked in with the yarn, and I do that when I add a new yarn, so I never tie a knot anymore.
Well, you have to show me, because I don't want to have floats, because I wanted to be able to use both sides.
Well, no. What I mean is, that's not what I mean by floats. I mean that I use the same technique that I use to catch a float. So I'll put the yarn that I want to not have knotted. I'll put that on the needle in a way that it'll be able to slide off again easily. Then I put on the new yarn and slide off the old one, so it's kind of across.
I have to see it. I can't.
It's the same technique you use for catching floats.
Well, I don't catch floats right now, so
yeah.
Anyway, so this is what's going on with this, and I'm looking forward to getting to the point where I can learn how to attach, because I think the way this is going to be attached will be easier, because the way it fits in my brain right now, and I may be reading it wrong because I'm not real good at patterns. The pattern speak is like a stereo manual for me. I can't. I have trouble sometimes, but it seems to me that you're doing only a couple stitches at a time. You connect, and then you do your thing, and then you connect again and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So
well, it sounds to me that what you might be doing is an applied.
Okay, well, that still picks up stitches, right? I mean, yeah. So that's what it's, and if I can do it that way, then the repetition's there, but it's not like I'm constantly having to worry about picking up
But
the
I'll be
stuff.
interested to see that's actually what she's doing, because it's what you're describing sounds similar to apply, but it also might be a misunderstanding what
Well,
you're saying.
and I might not be saying it correctly. Like I said, I only saw it once, but that's what it sounded like to me. And this is all kind of tangled up right now. I have another. I don't know where this is another needle. Why is it in here? I think because this has 2 needles to work with, and I thought I had. I'm gonna have to get another minder for this so it doesn't keep getting tangled in my project. Yeah. So where is it? Where is it? Okay. So
Is that all for that one?
yeah, that's all for that. I'll be right back.
Okay. So let me see what's next for me. In my... Whoops. You're stuck.
Oh, I went. Okay. Thanks.
In my Silvershed USA bat signal bag. Hold on. This one. There we go. This one is packed to the gills, so... This is my Puget Sound project. The pattern is the Fundamental Men's Pullover by Jen Hagen. I have about 10 inches to go before I have to think about collar or anything like that for the front. Back has been done for a while. And I have the stitches held for the collar and for the sleeves. Or for the shoulders for this. So that's his back. So this is for my dad. And then this is the front. And like I said, I have about, I think when I measured, I have about 10 inches to go. So quite a bit to go. I feel like it's grown quite a bit. I need to tighten this. There we go. I need to get one of those rubber things where it allows you to tighten a little bit more, because every time I do anything with this, it loosens a little bit. One of the issues with interchangeables. I've been trying to switch over from interchangeables, but they can be handy for when I don't happen to have a non-interchangeable in the size I need. But this bag is full of the yarn that I need for the sweater. I'm not likely to run out. I probably will even have some left over. Because this was a yarn that I had for quite a while.
Did you have to do 2?
No.
Here's your needle.
Oh, thank you. So it fell down there. Thank you. It was really confusing because I was like, where'd it go?
Okay. All right. Let me see where I'm at here. Are you finished?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
While we were sitting here, I follow drugs.com on my app, and I got a notification. Apparently, a new drug got approved by the FDA for migraines. Nasal spray. That's interesting.
Okay. My next one is in my Emma Owl bag. Lovely Emma gave it to me. The bag, not the project. I love this bag because she used it and then she gave it to me, and it makes me happy.
So it has love.
It has love.
What is love?
Okay, this is my mint. Stop. That's
Omar.
rude. Okay. This is my mint, Cool Mint baby blanket? What is this? Mint Surprise baby blanket. I couldn't remember the name. So I did a little bit of work on this, but like I said, I was working mostly on Talia's shawl, so I didn't get as much done.
That wasn't mine. That was yours.
No, that was yours. It had the Mad Tosh and the...
Oh, okay. I don't know why it didn't register correctly. Wow.
So this is... I have... It'll be touch and go, I think, if I can finish it with this skein. I might be able to. And I have another one if I don't. And I think maybe, I was telling my husband, I think maybe I'll always have a blanket, a baby blanket like this on the hook, because right now I'm doing this for a specific person. But we have so many people in our parish who have kids. Who have,
You just can keep a box.
I can keep a box, and some of it can go to the pregnancy center, and some of it can go to...
Although you might have to keep a plan of how many you keep here, because otherwise you'll do what we always do, which is you give it all to the pregnancy center. If you don't decide ahead of time, I'm keeping half.
Oh, right.
Because otherwise what will happen is you go, oh, we're doing pregnancy center drop off, and you'll give everything, and I'll think about
Right, well, I'll probably put one, I might do one and keep it, one put aside.
Yeah.
One do it and one put aside. If I get too many for the parish, I can give more to the pregnant
Right,
center.
exactly. It is that you have to make sure you have a plan so that you don't just, end up not saving any for when people get pregnant and
Right.
you don't want to have to like quickly make them baby blankets.
Because there was a nice lady when I first got here. When we moved here 22 years ago, there was a nice lady here, and she did all kinds of nice things. One of the things she did was she kept an eye on the people in the parish who were pregnant, and she gave them baby blankets. I don't know what all she put in there, but one time, the reason I know she did is because one time I had to deliver one. I worked at Seton Home Study School, and one of the people she wanted to give this to worked at Seton, so I brought it to them. And I thought it was such a nice idea.
Mm-hmm.
And if my hands can manage it, I'd like to do it. I mean, one time the office did call me to do a blanket, and I said, oh, I wish I had had something behind, because at that point I couldn't do anything.
Right, you were having a lot of issues at that point.
Yeah, so I think it would be a good idea to just have kind of a stockpile of it
Mm-hmm.
and do it that way. So, yeah, that takes care of this one.
Okay. Let me pull my notes up
It
again.
matches one of my owls. See?
That one, yeah, it does. It's a little bit lighter.
A little bit lighter.
About his eye color.
Yeah. The
Around the eye.
what should be the whites. Yeah.
Well, I always thought of it as kind of not being the whites, but being like the fuzziness around his eye.
I guess it could be, yeah.
Okay, so the next one. This one, honestly, I could finish any time now, and I need to. In my Silvershed USA, Oops is a bunny bag.
Oh, Ty, we have to remember. I keep forgetting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say it after. Just remind me. I have to say it after you're done.
You're asking me to remember
Yeah,
something.
I know. Maybe somebody in the viewers can shout loud enough that I'll remember. Go ahead.
Okay, don't forget to take your drink for the Oops. So, in this bag is my Royal Sock project. It is the Royal House Socks, is what I call the project. But the pattern is Dance All Night socks. First sock's been done for a while. And I'm looking forward to having these cozy happy. These are not going to be worn out. These, unless they're like worn in boots and it's really cold out, these are not likely to be worn out. I'm more likely to wear socks out than I used to because I now know how to darn socks. Which, it's amazing how one skill like that can really be a life changer.
I do like
Game
the
changer.
homemade socks, handmade socks.
Well, it's just really great if you have any sort of neuropathy. And I have always had issues with socks getting tight around the top of my feet.
I like the cushion on the bottom of my feet because that's where I have my.
Well, yeah, I like that. That's the reason why I like it. That's the first reason I like is cushion at the bottom, because a lot of times normal socks are not thick enough.
Right.
And then I don't get that protection that I do with a handed sock. And then the added bonus that I can make it so they're not negative ease too.
Right.
So, yeah, this is using Madtosh. They were one of a kind. There's two of them.
Well,
I think I have two more one of a kinds like this.
That's. I think that what they mean by that is, 'cause I do as well as a dyer, is this is one of a kind because this is the batch, and whatever's in there, it's one of a kind.
So, yeah, I have probably a few more inches left before I am able to start the toe for this.
A couple few more?
Yeah.
Is that a technical term?
It is.
Which is it, a couple or a few?
Either or both.
Can't be both. It's either
So,
a couple
yes.
or a few.
Looking forward to having this.
Let me just finish this stitch.
And I tend to keep one of these on the needles most times because Mom and I both like that sock. So if
Is that the Dance All Night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I tend to alternate it for us. But the thing is, Mom doesn't have the yarn ready yet for the ones she wants me to start for her.
I have to think about it.
Yeah, because she was talking about maybe dyeing hers.
Yeah, and I'll yeah.
Because the one thing is with the Dance All Night socks is it does take up quite a decent amount more yarn. So I can't always supply the yarn for hers, because otherwise I eat through all my yarn stash.
Well, I don't want you to supply the yarn for mine. I'll give you my yarn. I always give you yarn for my stuff.
Well, every once in a while, like if it's a gift, I'll just make yarn.
Right,
for
but
what I have stash.
that's something different, though. If I ask you for something, a lot of times I'll give you the yarn because it's not fair. You can't afford it, so I have to make sure I dye it up because I can't afford to just buy yarn for that. So
Well, then you should take pictures of that whatever I make too.
yeah.
So that you have, this is what looks worked up.
I still have to do. Pat was very gracious and sent me a picture of the casks of Amontillado worked up in that shawl. I need to put that in so people can see how it worked up, because I thought it was beautiful the way it worked up in her thing. Okay, my next one is in my Silvershed USA black and blue Star Wars bag. I have a lot of Silvershed bags today.
You always do.
Not always. Sometimes it looks like, oh wow, I have everybody but, and I feel bad. My tea is cooling down. Okay. I usually don't have it long enough for it to cool down.
No, you don't usually.
This is my Play It Again scarf project. There's no pattern. I tore out the pattern I originally had on this because I didn't like it the way it was working up in it. And it was too hard for me to keep track of what I was doing. Keep getting caught up in my yarn here. So right now it's a very simple pattern that I may... This one will not go up because I'm sure somebody's done it a million times. But I may do a variation on it. And do... So you can see it's just got kind of a little border around it. Very simple.
Yeah, that one probably is available somewhere for you.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it is.
As simple as this small border. And
yeah, it's very easy. This, if I can think this one up and not have any trouble with it, I'm sure that somebody's got it out there. Because for as long as I've been knitting, I wouldn't say I'm even an adventurous knitter. I'm a adventurous beginner. I'm just, plodding along, beginner / advanced beginner.
Your preference is very apparently crochet.
Well, I'll sit there with crochet and I'm like, I'll try that. And then I look at it, I'm like, yank. With knitting, I'm like, it's too much work to get back to where I was. Why am I all tangled up? There it is. Okay. So, but I like the way this is working. I think this would make a nice man scarf, although I'm sure this would be really pretty on a blonde, like Linnea or somebody who's got the really blonde hair, or a redhead.
Yeah, I can see it looking really good on a redhead.
So, yes, that's that.
Okay, let me stick this in here. Stay. Alrighty, so next for me is in my Silvershed USA books bag. This is the project I call... it just occurred to me that I had this one in the books bag. I don't remember if I did that on purpose. The project's called Lady Susan. The pattern is the Cozy Reading Socks by K.F. Jones.
That's fun.
I must have done that on purpose. That couldn't have been an accident.
Well, maybe. I mean, sometimes it's just stranger things have happened. What does it say? Truth is stranger than fiction?
Yes. So, haven't woven any ends for the first sock, even though it's been done for a while. I do need to weave in ends for this.
That turned out really pretty. I like that.
Yeah, I like this the way it turned out too. So that's sock number 1. A little bit of a shorter cuff than I normally do, but it's good to have several different heights of cuff too.
It matches the bag.
It does. And then I started the second one, so just a little bit of ways into
Made a little more progress since the last time I saw it.
Well, yeah, I worked on it a little bit this week, so, and because it's a DK weight, it does grow a little bit more obviously.
You have to tell me how it feels when you wear it.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine because the base you use is really comfortable.
Right, but also the pattern itself.
Oh, yeah. Well, that part's not going to be touching my feet.
Yeah. I was wondering if it would be a little more negative ease because of the, whatever those things are called, bobble thingies.
The knots? I don't think so. Because you actually... The way it's made, it doesn't pull in.
Okay. Okay. All right, I guess it's my turn.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Before I get any further, I remembered the thing that I was going to say.
I forgot. You told me to remember. Why'd you have something?
For the alongs, as you all know, next year's we have Ready Set Go at the beginning of the year, along with our year long, which is going to be Tea and Tails. We last year did. Patty had suggested it, Wombat of Doom, that we do a Finish All the Things, and that will also be coming up along with our new alongs. I think it's going to start in September. If not September, October. I have to check our notes.
Yeah, you're the one who's the gatekeeper for all that.
So that we are going to have that extra along, and from this point running, that along will always be
at
just once a year. We did it. We did it at the beginning of the year when we did Ready Set Go. and we had them both running concurrently. But now we're going to get back on schedule. That one's going to be at the end of the year, and Ready Set Go is always going to be at the beginning of the year. So that's another thing to look forward to.
Yes.
I just wanted to say something before I forget, because I do that. Okay. Let me just put this away so I can do my turn.
Yes, it is.
Okay. My notes. Okay. I'm being punished for something. Okay.
No, if you're being punished for something, when you try to turn it on, it would have kicked you out.
I don't want to. Don't even get. Okay. Don't even. All right. I just did the play it again. So the one I'm doing now is in my Silvershed USA Fun in the Woman Cave words bag. Why have I skipped something? I feel it. I have. Okay, wait a minute.
Did you not mark something in the notes?
No, this one I just did, I did this, but I didn't work on it. That's what it was. I was sitting here. I was thinking about working on it, and I didn't.
Oh, did it mean one less project than you thought?
No, I have one more project. That's this one, I think. Yeah. Okay, I'm all right.
Okay.
I think. What's this? Did I show? I don't think I worked on this one. Let me see. I'm sorry, guys. I have to look at my notes. But this is what happens when okay, that I missed one.
Okay.
This is what happens when I have this particular way of looking at my show notes. It moves without me asking it, and so I lost track of where I was. Tell me, I didn't show this, Ty, right?
No.
Okay. So this is my Mama See Large Owls bag. Thank you very much, Christina, for my set of Owls bags, which I absolutely love. This is the bag
Owls bag and hot pad.
Yes, but no, I also have another Owls bag.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Owls bags.
Yes. Well, I don't use it as a hot pad. I use it as a decoration.
You see, I actually use both of mine. One, I have at the side of my bed, and I keep my water bottle on there because I was tired of my water bottle sliding. And then the other one I keep by my tea warmer, because what would happen is if I stirred my tea, I'd end up dripping.
Right.
So I just put it down on that, and it's brown, so it kind of blends in.
See, mine is blue, I think it is, because it matches this.
And I have it flipped up to the sayings on top.
I have the saying. It's up over here, over there. The other one is in my drawer for using, but nobody's allowed to use it because I don't want to stain it. I love it. So, but anyway, I absolutely love it. So yes, I do have that as well. But in my, this is my bag and wrap from the Burrow Wrap pattern by K.F. Jones. And I'm using dragonfly fibers as well as some stash yarn. And I am moving along on this. This is kind of like the endless number of rows that Ty was talking about. I need to just sit down and work on this a little bit and get to the next color. But it's not like, I'm not in a hurry. I want it, but I'm enjoying it. So I do it when I want to do it. Yeah. I have about, let's see, maybe 15 or 20 rows to go on this particular color. So we'll see. I was hoping to have it done like 2 weeks ago, that color, but that's okay. I'm okay. It's all good. Here we go. Right? And I am in the middle of this row. Let's see here. Yep, I'm in the middle here. And I just started this row. So
Well, you could show it as best you can.
see. I believe that's dragonfly fibers. So
It kind of looks like that.
Yeah. Okay, your turn.
Alrighty, so next for me is I think I skipped one. Let me scroll
you?
up again. Yeah, because one of my ones, it looks shorter, the name, so my eyes tend to skip over and think it's a part of the one before it. And I do this even when I'm making my notes. Sometimes I'll highlight it when I don't intend to.
Right.
Because I think it belongs to the one before it.
Right.
I need to actually give it its own name instead of just putting it down by the pattern name, and it'll make it easier for me to see.
Right.
So in my Mama C tutor bag, and she made me, this is the Alice's Easter Bunny socks. That's the pattern name.
Okay, gotcha.
And I'd seen this pattern on Instagram around Easter time. The same time right before I started testing the other bunny socks.
Okay, so the other one is the one I saw for you. This is the one you saw.
This is the one I saw myself. And so I picked it up. I initially had this in a, I think it was a bit of a rougher yarn. I think it was non-superwash. But then I found that I had this red sparkle.
Ooh, pretty.
That I had picked up for a hitchhiker.
Okay.
To try to finish off remember you got me that gold and red.
Right.
And this was supposed to be on the end of it because I didn't have enough, and then I decided not to use it for the hitchhiker.
Right.
But I have enough for the pair of socks.
Perfect.
So
This will be pretty. Is it going to be scratchy though?
no, I don't think so. I've worn it with. I have yarns with. I've worn socks with sparkle.
Okay.
So hang on, my white yarn. My yarn's all tangled up in my
I hate when that happens to your cord or whatever.
Yeah. And because I'm magic looping, I'm also going to be switching out the needles because I actually prefer for magic looping my zings.
Right.
Because the cable's a little bit more flexible, but not quite so flexible as my square needles, where the square needles was just annoying.
Right.
Because it was so flexible that when I tried to push it through, it would try to pop through the other side.
Oh, really?
Well, what happened was I would try to push it through, so that I could then be working with a different needle because I had turned or whatever. But that when I would try to push it back through stitches, it would pop through the in between the other stitches and try to create another magic loop.
Right.
Because it was just too flexible.
Right.
But the zings are like the nice in between, where they're a little bit more flexible than the Chow Goos, which are quite stiff.
I think the zings are my second favorite needles. Mm-hmm. I'm a big fan of the Chow Goo.
I'm a big fan of Chow Goos, but with this, I've noticed that it tends to have a mind of its own and flip up when I'm doing the color work, and it keeps getting in the way of my hand.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I needed something a little more flexible. So, yeah, it's mostly going to be this red and white, and then the bunnies. Oh, that's not me. The bunnies are going to be this color. This is the one I got. This.
Oh, that's pretty.
This is the color changing one.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to get more right. She never put it in.
Yeah, and I've never actually noticed that it changes color.
You can see it.
Yeah, I guess it does a little bit. So this was one that I got way long time ago, and it's supposed to change colors, and that's going to be my bunnies. But I actually, as much as I like the Beatrix bunny socks, I really love the design for this one. It's got color work all throughout.
Okay, so which one?
The Beatrix bunny socks is the one I tested.
Okay.
This one it's got the combination that I tend to love, which is hearts and bunnies.
Right.
And it has, like, the bunnies in a little section, but then it's hearts all throughout with this nice little lattice pattern.
Right.
And it just looks so classy to me. I can see myself knitting this in several different colors.
Well, it works well with the little sparkle there.
It does. It does. And I have some purple sparkle as well that I might make for another pair.
Right.
But I was just delighted when I realized I had some red sparkle, because I had forgotten about it. So, and I'm using the same size needles I am doing for the Beatrix bunny socks, because it's close enough in gauge, and I think it might be my color sock gauge.
Okay.
And so I was like, that works. I will just use that.
Are they is that fingering also, or is that DK?
No, this is fingering.
Okay.
No, DK colorwork sock would be very heavy, Mom.
I imagine it would be nice and warm.
Yes. I probably won't make a ton of colorwork socks, simply because my gauge is a lot tighter, and I don't want to do a gauge swatch.
Right.
A lot of times.
Right.
So I'm going to be inclined more for a pattern for sock, but not necessarily crazy complex.
Mm-hmm. I like the idea of cabled socks.
Mm-hmm. I think I will probably also have to do a gauge swatch for the cable socks, because it also tends to suck it in a bit. Right. And I do tend to have a tight gauge.
Okay, let's get this. I might have to check the pattern for this and see if she does the same number of rows for everything. Because if she does, I'm just going to measure it.
I'm pretty sure she does.
Yeah, because I don't like having...
Knowing her, she probably tells you what the measurement is. Oh, she was working with a different weight of yarn.
Yeah, she was... I'll just see what this measures out to, and then I won't have to keep so much to, what row am I on?
Because I know that's what she likes to do.
Yeah, to measure.
Yeah, like I forget what pattern I was working of hers, where it said I think it was hers. You got to a certain number of rows, and then she had you measure, and it's like, okay, now next time make sure it matches that measurement. It might have been the Dobbin wood.
Yeah. Well, I know that
For
the
flaps.
first time I heard about measuring as opposed to counting was when I was watching Hot Ass Knitters.
That's right.
Nicole.
Anything she said for you at that point was like gospel. If Nicole said it, you were like, it's got to be so.
Nicole,
Nicole says it.
I know you probably don't watch anymore. I had the utmost respect for Nicole. She was a super person, is a super person.
It's like, you don't respect her anymore.
I don't know her anymore. She's a sweetheart. I mean, I have a lot of admiration for her based on what I knew of her years ago. She's just a super person. And so I had a tendency as a newer crafter, like doing, learning the ropes in terms of patterns and yarns and this and that. She held a lot of weight.
Well, I know that at the beginning, you wanted to mimic her style a little bit.
She was very influential.
And by style, I mean style of podcasting.
Yes. Well, a lot of the people did the same thing.
Well, yeah. But that was that time period where it took me forever to convince you it was okay to drop off that, like, you didn't have to say what the needle size was every time.
Right.
Because you used to want to run through the needle size, what yarn, like, it was like this whole thing, and it took forever to, like, list a project because
She's too impatient.
Well, no,
But my thing was talking to the camera. I always
that's always been your thing.
So, all right, it's your turn or mine?
You just showed that, so
Okay, it's your turn.
let me put my
Oops.
Is it plenty? Okay.
I don't have any more tea.
That's what happens when you drink it.
I don't want water right now, though.
Okay, so my last one. Okay, this is a new cast on because, of course, that's what I need is another cast on. In my Silvershed USA bookworm bag, it's probably actually Caterpillar, but this is for the bookworm kits.
We call it a bookworm. Therefore, it's a bookworm.
So I went ahead and I started, because I had realized, I think I mentioned this last podcast, that whereas I always kind of thought before that lacy socks with holes in it, with lace in it, were kind of silly because I was like, well, that defeats the purpose of socks, blah, 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 blah. Now that I have neuropathy where I actually can get my feet to be really hot, they're also really sensitive. So, like, if I touch, like, anything, it'll be like, don't touch me. So, lacy socks for me now are kind of like this nice in-between, where it's like you have the heat going up through the holes and,
Yeah, you don't have the lace on the bottom. You just have,
and then I still have the cushioning of the sock.
I don't think people do lace on the bottom simply because you would catch it on things. And
So this pattern is actually one of her older ones. This is the All Is Calm socks.
It was last year, wasn't it? 2 years ago?
Oh, no, this is quite a bit old. That
was put out for Christmas one year.
I
think it was the Christmas cast on.
No, I think she had one that was worsted weight for Christmas.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. No, I think this is just one that she's had for a while.
Okay.
I don't know if she says what when she puts it out on the bottom. Let's see. No, it just says 2017.
Yeah, that's 4 years ago. So.
Yeah, it's one of her older ones, like I said. And I had picked this up. This is back when Davina was wanting more socks. This was Allegheny. This is Tara's.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Allegheny Fiber Arts. And this is Rotary Dial. And I was
like a phone, like a rotary dial phone?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
And I looked at this and I'm like, these are the All Is Cool socks. So, and they just feel just like calm. It's such a calm color that it seemed to be perfect for. I mean, in retrospect, he's probably a bit too variegated for the show the lace, but I'm not really trying to show the lace. I'm just trying to. I want the holes.
Well, nobody's going to see it, right? I mean, it's on your feet, and your pants are going to cover the holes, so or whatever.
But yeah, you really can't see the pattern too much because I chose poorly with my yarn.
But it looks pretty though.
It's enjoyable to work, and yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm waiting for the lace to come out.
No, it's there. I've had several rows of it.
Oh, I see. It's very small.
Yeah, it's very small. It's enough to kind of. It's not like the Hare ones that I'm going to cast on, where it's this big old lace pattern.
Right.
And there's one Kay has. I have a couple of her lace socks, and one of them is called her sampler ones.
Okay.
And those look fun. And I have a couple of them. Some that are more obvious with the lace, some that are more subtle. Because now that I'm a little bit more open-minded about it, I'm willing to go a little more crazy with it. Wrong direction. There we go.
How many do you have left? One?
That was it.
Okay, this is my last one. In my Fun in the Woman Cave words bag, this is a Silvershed USA bag that Ann did for us, is my Sherwood baby sweater. And I don't think I worked too much on this one. Just a little bit. If I can find where I put my hook. Okay, here it is. So yeah, I worked a little bit on this. And like I said before, I actually added a row to this because it was too hard to see the stitches to do the pattern. So I just added a row where you actually had stitches instead of a chain, to work out of. So it's growing. It is growing. But I have to work on it if it's going to grow anymore.
Well, that does generally.
Yeah.
It's generally what it has to.
And this is Miss Babs Yowza. I forget what the color is. I think I lost the ball band a while back. But, because I had this in something else that I pulled out.
Yeah, that happens.
And, yeah, I don't know what this is. Let me see if this is the ball band. No, this is not the ball band.
I tend to fold it up and stick it down the center.
I usually do that as well, but I didn't do it for this one for whatever reason. I don't know where it went. Or it might have fallen out and I got lost, so. Alright, that takes care of my projects.
I do have that, it's not really a project, it's a weaving in ends. Because I'm continuing the saga of the blanket. Got a few of these ends woven in. Still have a decent amount of them to go. Don't know if you really see it because it's so big.
Yeah, you can see it.
But, I mean, progress slowly but surely. I can't bring myself to do a ton of them at a time. But I'm actually down to really not many of them being left in comparison to what's...
Well, what you started with.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hard one to weave in. It's a little short.
Nah, I'll be able to get it.
Yeah.
I've got tricks. So, that is the blankets. Let me just dump it here.
And I had some, I wove in some ends on some dishcloths that I found, but I don't know what bag it's in, so somewhere around here somewhere.
And we both have FOs.
Yeah. Okay, I guess you want to show yours last. Okay, in my sheepy bag, this is a plover bird bag, is my Baby Leonardo the Ninja Turtle project. Now this was cobbled together. This was originally a hat. And in my absolute brilliance, I put in safety eyes. And of course you can't wear it with safety eyes. I know someone had posted just recently about sawing them off and everything. By the time I read that, I had already started fixing this. So, not that I'm very good at that anyway. So anyway, I cobbled together from the hat pattern, and I used some of Talia's Biddy, the bashful baby turtle pattern to finish this. And this is how it turned out. This is Leonardo, baby turtle.
Say gaw.
And I gave him 4 legs instead of 2.
I'm sure he appreciated that.
I think he turned out kind of cute.
I think he did too.
I mean, he's just... It's kind of like those things that you see at the big bobbleheads and small bodies. This is meant to be a baby, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking about giving it away, but I think I'm going to keep him.
Yeah,
I can see him on the screen. He's cute.
Yeah, he gets space on the couch for him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I finished that. Finally, I just, took some of the knowledge I learned from Talia and Stacy Trock from doing patterns, how to decrease in that. And then I said, okay, I had a vague idea about how to do the legs, but I thought Biddy's about the same size.
Yeah.
So I went and looked at Biddy. Why reinvent the wheel, right?
Right, exactly.
So it's cobbled together, and I think he turned out really cute. I really like him, if I do say so myself.
He is cute.
He's cute. So that takes care of that.
I mean, he's bigger than Biddy for sure, but he can handle the same legs.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me turn this in.
I think he's higher than Biddy.
He's also, it might just be that he's higher.
Yeah. Because he was a hat.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, I know there's ends still to be woven in for this, but I'm counting this as done, unlike the other one, like Chris is talking, because I can actually pull this inside out. I finished this right before the podcast. Where did the bag go for it?
What bag is it?
Oh, here it is. I have it right next to me. This is the blocked one. And let me grab the sock blocker because I pulled it over here so I can put the one finished on there. So I have a finished pair of socks.
Yay.
And once I finish actually blocking this and finish weaving in all the ends, I will have another pair to wear, which will be great.
Isn't that pretty?
So I was going to need another pair of these, but I decided against it, and turned out to work out because I ran out of the purple that I was going to use in it anyway. So,
You were going to reverse it, right?
no, I had different color choices, but I decided that I don't want to make necessarily a whole ton of colorwork socks, so they were going to have a tendency to be maybe a bit too warm.
These turned out really pretty, though.
Yeah, I am happy with how they turned out, and I'm really looking forward to the other ones as well. So yeah, once I block this, they will be more of the same size. Right now it's very close, but it's not quite there because it hasn't been blocked.
Right.
But and actually I think it's, oh, I know, being on the blocker makes it look a little bigger.
Yeah, I would think so.
I'm sitting here like, why is the other one smaller? That's why.
You always go with the thing that one side of your body is always a little bigger than the other.
And I know that this fits because I put on the first one. Yeah, now they look more the same size.
Awfully pretty.
But this one definitely needs to be blocked. You can see how this one's smoother than this one.
Yeah, eventually if you wear it, it's going to be blocked.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Do
you block it on the blocker?
Yes, these I do with the color, because color tends to suck in.
Yeah.
I'm not quite as likely to put on the blocker some of my other ones. And after I block it the first time, I just tend to wash them.
Right, well, you've got, yeah.
I've been wearing them.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so that takes care of that. What's next?
Then it should be, I think we should do shop news at this point.
I think I have in here, okay, before we get to shop news, I want to show.
Oh, actually, we do graphic novel and bead stuff.
See, these are a few of the, I don't think these are the ones I wove in, or maybe they are. I have a couple more somewhere else. So, I knew I had some of them in here. I don't know what happened to the other ones. Just somewhere around here. Okay, shop news.
Oh, no, I made a mistake, not shop news.
Oh.
Do you have any graphic novel?
No.
Okay, and I don't have it. I don't have any
Beads and string.
Beads and string, because the only thing I had was an order and I sent it out.
Yeah. So. And my graphic novel's kind of in my head right now. I'm still kind of
processing.
Yeah, processing it. Okay,
so now that leads on to shop news.
Okay, do you have shop news?
Well, my only shop news is that I've been saying forever, eventually, very soon, we're going to be seeing the Davina's Christmas stocking pattern go into testing. But that I hope to have that starting sometime this week. I just had to weave in the ends because it's decently bigger than this sock here. It takes a lot longer to weave in the ends.
Right.
So I have to take breaks because otherwise I feel like I'm going crazy. Okay. And also weaving in ends requires a lot more bending over.
Right. For me, okay, I am back dyeing yarn slowly. If you guys want something with the holiday season coming up, you know, the autumn colorways, the Christmas colorways, I'm thinking about bringing purple packages back, a couple other things like that. You know, let me know what bases you are interested in. I think right now people are mostly interested in fingering sock and DK. I do have sport, I do have worsted. If you want something in that, let me know. You all saw already, I haven't had a chance to take pictures. That's why the yarns haven't gone up. But this is how this one came out. And this is no longer Bonfire. I still haven't quite decided on the name of this. I already had a colorway called Bonfire.
Yeah, that might be.
So, this one, I think is going to
Fire Pit?
I think it's going to be called Wildfire, but I'm not sure. I have a couple pictures of things that I'm looking at, and I just want to take a look before I am definitive. That's why this one hasn't gone up. Plus, I need pictures. Then you saw Blue Jay Way last week. This one. Now, I did another colorway this past week, and this one is called Gathering Storm Clouds. So it's similar to Blue Jay Way, but it's got the grays. And you can see, it kind of reminds me of the blue sky getting overtaken by the clouds.
It's really pretty.
So this is called...
And I do actually know what it looks like. I'm not just saying like it's really pretty without looking at it. I've actually seen it.
Blue Jay, this is not Blue Jay, this is Gathering Storm Clouds. And this one is on fingering sock, but I can make it on any base that you guys want.
The fingering sock tends to be one of your more popular ones.
Yeah.
I think
So-
it is for most dyers.
Yep. But I have plenty of DK. As far as I know, I have a fair amount of worsted. I have some sport. Actually, I have a good amount of sport because someone was going to design something in it and never
Yeah.
did. So this stuff, I have 5 skeins of yarn that hopefully will be going up soon. And you can see the difference if I hold them up together. They're definitely different colorways. Okay, so that's basically what I have for shop news. Just keep an eye on the shop for these to go up. I'm hoping to, like I said, start putting up some of the more autumnal, fall type, maybe some Halloweenish kind of colorways, and starting to do Christmas stuff. I for those of you who had my Advent kit last year, those will be going up probably as well in the shop just for everybody. So that's new colorways for the general public.
You spat on me.
I did not, in fact.
You did
I
too.
did not, in fact. And it's rude to say so if it was unintentional.
You would have said the same thing to me.
I would not, in fact.
Yes, you would have.
I have too much class to be that rude.
Oh, did you just call me classless?
I didn't say that word. Okay, so where are we at now?
Okay, so next is any stash enhancements, which,
I don't have any.
I mean, I have some. Do I have patterns? No, I think I already had those. So no, I don't either. So that leads us on to books, which I don't have a whole lot because I didn't read a ton.
Yeah, I didn't either. I finished listening to that one. What was it? The one that we.
Oh, the one that, or I don't like the protagonist. That's
much.
Murder is Easy.
Murder's Easy, and I'm starting the early cases of Poirot to listen to, and then I'm going to stop listening, I think, for a while, because I want to get back to actually reading. I get more involved with the book.
Well, you really do, and I think that, like I said, you get more involved, and you truly miss things.
I think the only time I will continue with that is if I'm like cleaning the kitchen or if I'm knitting or something, because I have not perfected the skill of reading and crafting.
Right.
You know, it's just any kind of crafting. I need to pay attention to both one or the other, not be divided. But I did. We're still doing. I think we did.
I don't think we did this week because I was so out of it this week.
The dodos.
No, I don't think
We
we
didn't
did
do it
this
on Monday.
No, Monday
Okay.
I was severely fatigued.
Okay. Well, I did my. I'm doing my
I don't think
daily
we did
prayer
Monday.
2021 because we finished up our class and are now studying for the final.
Yes.
And so I'm just trying to fill in the gaps until we start our sacred story. I'm reading my Mother Teresa book a little at a time, An Abandonment to Divine Providence, and The Listening Eye by Patricia Wentworth. Now I'm focusing on that one because, you know, I have fewer things on my Kindle to read right now.
Right.
So
For me, I finished Friday the Rabbi Slept Late by Harry Kemmelman. I did enjoy it. I probably wouldn't rate it quite as high as an Agatha Christie, but it's still enjoyable. It was definitely, and as you read it, I probably would still read some more of his books. He won't be my go-to, but I really did enjoy. When you look back, you can see where seeds were planted, clues were planted for who ends up being the person who did it, who done it. But other than, yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it, and the characters are well written. So
that's what I'm finding with The Listening Eye also, that it's not quite up to Agatha Christie, but she's good.
right,
Yeah.
well, it's kind of hard. She's called the Queen of Crime
Yeah,
for a reason.
yeah.
Now the one who I do find usually matches up to her pretty well is Dorothy Sayers.
Oh yeah, well she's
She's another one
Yeah.
who's top notch.
Yeah.
And actually, Marjorie Allingham does but they're all the same era. So they have the same kind of feel to them.
right.
But I do still tend to prefer Agatha Christie, even saying that. I think that is really I did read a little bit of Queen of the Conqueror, The Life of Matilda, Wife of William I by Tracy Borman. But yeah, other than that, didn't have this week I was really kind of affected.
Yeah, it's been a interesting week. So my husband is out, so I'm not going to belabor the point with life stuff. We really don't have.
Well,
a lot
I do
of-
have a few things.
Oh, do you?
Well,
you
first
do.
of all,
yes.
no hair.
Yeah. Well, no hair.
Okay, hair severely, at least a foot cut off, right?
Yeah, it's about 12 inches.
It's about 12 inches.
Oh, no, maybe not quite that much. Maybe about 10 inches.
Yeah, it was a small mountain.
Yeah.
So that's gone. It's because putting up in braids, it was actually pulling a lot on my scalp, and I get head pain anyway. I will get straight down here, and I just didn't need anything pulling on that. And when I leave it down, for one thing, I get great volume if it stays down for any period of time. It becomes like Afghan ears, and then I overheat. So it's gone. Really enjoying this. I wanted something that would be very much of a, I'm not feeling well, I can just roll out of bed and just still look okay. And this is working for that. But that, and I'm going to be starting a new migraine medicine. I'm doing a preventative one. I'll be starting to have an injection for migraine, see if that helps with some light sensitivity. Because when he heard I was having light sensitivity daily, he's like, oh yeah, we can possibly do something about that. And he's going to write it in his note how debilitating it is. So maybe we can get
Is he going to write something for the lawyer?
That's what I was going to say. It's in his note, and I'll be able to get the note to the lawyer and to SSI. Just cover my bases so the lawyer knows what he's working with.
So we're very happy about that.
He's been the easiest person to get a hold of. Like, getting a hold of my main person is extremely challenging. But there's been, from what I understand from different things I've been reading, different articles my grandparents have been sending me, because whenever there's something about dysautonomia or POTS, I get sent an article. Apparently there is a correlation where some people might get lingering effects after COVID where it triggers, who knows if they already had a tendency towards having.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, it just sort of triggers them to have either mast cell or POTS or both. I've seen things about both of those things. So I'm wondering if my doctor's seeing an increase in his patient load, and he's already overwhelmed to the point where he's like, okay, we need to figure out a way to get you working again so we can get you working here because I really need help. And
Well,
talk about ulterior motives.
Send the car out together. I'm not driving out there. We won't talk about my issues with going distances. But
and
anyway.
I don't drive anymore because of,
Okay, so that takes care of that. For the people who do Patreon, this Friday is a...
this one is live.
Live.
Zoom was last time.
Okay, live.
So, so we look forward to seeing you. That's for...
It's live as in typing? I thought we did typing last time.
No, we did Zoom last time. Zoom's always the... Hold on.
Second and the fourth weeks. I thought the live was...
No, live is this time.
It is? You sure? Well,
yes, because
we have one.
Remember, we only had a few people on screen last time. It was Brittany, Pat. It was like the three of us for most of the time, and then we had a short little time. That was last time.
Yep. Okay. All right. So we have whatever we have. We have.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was deep. Remember last time Pat was talking about the tractors? I'm sorry, they weren't tractors, but
No, she was talking about tractors.
But yeah, but there was another word for it that
well, you're talking about the combine.
That.
She wasn't talking about that as well, though. She was talking about tractors too.
Yes. So yes.
Yes. We love Pat. She's quirky. Right, Pat? She joined the quirky club.
Indeed.
So yeah.
She might have started her own quirky club.
She might have, but she was already part of ours.
Yes.
All right. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here. We apologize for the disjointedness. We want to thank everybody who commented either in YouTube or in the thread, the episode thread over at the PHN home. We want to thank Rena, Looney Hiker, Brittany, Kara, Isela Yarn Crafts, and you and Miss Pogo. If I missed anybody, as always, it's only because I didn't see you. This was who I had before we podcasted.
And I didn't comment on many people this time around. I tried to catch some people. I tried really hard during a period of time when I was feeling a little bit better, but I know I missed people. I did try to get Miss Pogo. She asked me a direct question about the book, and no one else really answered that.
I did touch base with everybody on there. Rena, I'm so sorry that it took me so long to answer your private message. I did not get a notification. So I don't know why I didn't get a notification. Maybe I missed it.
It could be. Sometimes our email boxes get so...
Yeah.
It's half of them are like
and
junk.
I did.
I
did respond to it finally, Rena. I did that yesterday or this morning. So I apologize for the delay. I'm not really good anyway, but I tried to at least touch base with people who send me direct messages, and so I felt really bad about that. So anyway, we want to wish you all a very blessed weekend, a long weekend for the people who are in the United States and celebrate Labor Day, right? Labor Day.
Yes.
So we have I always get Labor Day and Memorial Day mixed up.
Yeah, it's
Labor
like-
Day.
Memorial Day's in the spring, I think.
Yeah, Labor Day is when school starts. So Labor Day.
Sorry.
Yeah. Want to wish you.
The kids are starting their labor.
Yes. So we want to wish you all a very wonderful Labor Day. If you are here in the States, I don't know if the rest of the world has Labor Day as well at this time of year, but if you do,
I don't know if that's a outside the U.S. holiday.
I don't know. So we want to wish you all a very blessed long weekend. And if you have a regular weekend, a very blessed weekend full of knitting, crocheting, crafting, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. And we hope to see you here for the Fun of the Woman Cave again next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 470, and that's a wrap.
Bye.
Boy, this is dating us for how long it's been since we
Yeah,
changed
you
it.
really do need to.
It's too much of a hassle. It doesn't matter.
We could just erase the thing and then just leave it without the date on there, and just leave it without the scene. Just have pen, hook, and needles.
I have to see if I could actually get it off.
Because if you could, that'd be great.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.